Yeah, keep the people waiting.
Yeah. Hello. Happy
Hello?
full moon. Happy full moon readathon day 2.
Oh, is it
Yes.
actually tonight the full moon?
Yesterday was a full moon, but it's probably still a full moon, so yes.
Nice. How on brand.
I know. Yeah, the readathon started yesterday as well. I know you're not in the loop anymore.
Oh, dang, the full moon readathon?
Mhm. It's 2 weeks this year until the
Oh, how fun.
13th. But anyway, here's Kasey from Not Kasey Can Read Anymore.
No, I'm
Can't
just
read
I
anymore.
actually I'm that on Twitter still, so
Oh, there we
you know,
go. Twitter.
yeah, the least interesting social media platform there is, but hey, I can
I
still
died.
read books on there.
Huh? You can still what?
We can still talk about books on there.
I died when you were like, "You found me."
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's on brand. Like I feel like if anyone was just like gonna fade into oblivion without unannounced, I'm okay with me being that person. Anyways, you want to talk about why are we here tonight, folks?
Here we are. We're talking about The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. Um, okay, let's just do the damn thing. So rating, surface level thoughts and rating. Let me get my banner up like the professional that I am. Okay,
Love it.
you can go first. What'd
Um, I don't. Okay, so
you-
I'm gonna preface this by saying that I really did give this book a fair shot. And I thought this was could have been a 4 or 5 star, could have been a new favorite. I was looking for this book to get me out of a reading slump, and I was, like, so hopeful that it took me, like, a full 200 pages to realize that, like, this was gonna be a one-star read for me. I was, like, that deluded that I was like, "It could change, maybe, like, everything will be explained." And I was holding out hope, but it just got more and more dramatic and, like, melodramatic too, like, very Wattpad-y after
Yes.
2012-ish, and there's a lot of it that I appreciate, and I think we can have a good discussion about, but it unfortunately, I think is, like, held down by all of its flaws in my eyes.
Okay, with all that being said, what's the rating? Was it 1 star?
Yeah, it was 1 star. It was 1 star. Yeah.
Okay, so I gave it 2 stars, and now I don't know why. I don't know why it wasn't a 1 star, TBH. Um, yeah, okay, so first of all, my patrons were like, "Hey, beware of the glass metaphor, because 'cause you're gonna get annoyed," and I
Yeah,
sure as hell was annoyed.
yeah.
Um, but I'm glad it, like, died down in the second half, like, it felt like it got edited by a
Mhm.
different editor in the second half. So those metaphors definitely died down, but
I immediately thought of you because they really name dropped Chicago, like, 50 different times, and I was like, "Is this, like, seriously what your life is like?" It's like, no, like, I remember, like, you always talk about that in your videos, it always happens, and as soon as it happened, I was like, "Oh my god," like, it's actually the Jan effect.
yeah. I'm crying, yes. No, yes, that's how I feel, like, this book was, like, the epitome of that, and that's how I feel picking up every book I
Yeah,
pick up ever. Because like, it's not even like, this was excessive, but a lot of the books I pick up, it's like a one-off, like, "Oh, my brother's girlfriend's uncle lives
yeah,
in Chicago," like, whatever, so,
I
yeah,
I
that's
thought that was so funny.
I also couldn't, like, visualize anything, like, at all. Couldn't
Yeah.
visualize anything. I mean, like, worse than usual, and this is, like, mostly I feel like it was mostly contemporary, like, yeah, there were all this, like, fantasy crap that was happening, but I was like, "What even is going on?" I saw this as a contemporary trying to be fantasy.
Yeah, the cover makes no sense with, like, what's going on in here. Honestly, like, to me, I felt like it was trying to do too much. Like, it went for, like, that gothic academic
Yeah,
university vibes, which lean into that. We want more of it, guys. Like,
exactly.
it almost I felt like it was like, I did you like A Lesson in Vengeance?
I was just about to ask you the same thing. No, I hated it. I also gave it 2 stars, but it reminded me of that.
Yeah. I liked it.
Oh.
Oh.
I literally like, I started my newsletter for next, month, and I put, like, recommendations that I've read that are similar. Not recommendations, but, books that are similar. Uh,
Mhm.
and yeah, Lesson in Vengeance, definitely. It gives
Yeah,
at first I was like, "Is it just the purple that's doing that?" And I was like, "No, it's really the vibe and, like, in my opinion, the lack thereof."
yes. Because then it also was the thing about, like, I don't really remember too clearly, but it kinda, like, reminded me of, like, maybe gothic, not magical realism, but, like, um, urban fantasy where it's like they're living in our world, but, they're studying, like, alchemy, that kinda thing, but then it was like, actually, this kinda feels more like heaven and hellish and, like, a demonic thing, and I was like, they never fully explained it.
I thought I was just missing everything.
Yeah. Oh,
That
you were right. It
that is
didn't exist.
huh?
It didn't exist.
Okay, good, 'cause that's validating for me. Uh,
Yeah.
and then well, okay, so the cover is that flower, the asphodel. I looked it up. That's what they look like.
Wait, are those, like, skulls actually there?
No, no.
Okay.
No, this is the asphodel whatever flower that he kept calling her because she wasn't a rose because she's not like other girls, and,
Yes, 'cause she's delicate, like glass.
exactly. Um, but yeah, and then also they had 0 chemistry.
Yep.
Like, why were they randomly kissing in, like, the middle of this turmoil? Like, don't you have priorities? Okay, let me go through these comments before we go any further.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hi, thanks for coming. I'm so excited to roast this with y'all. Gave it 2 stars. DNF it during summer week. Tried again via audio. There was too much just vibes, no plot. But also what vibes, like pick a vibe.
So true. Also, I love that you have Sorrowland in your picture.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
yes. I love that book too. I read
Yeah.
it like 2 years ago, I think, or whenever it came out. But how was the audiobook? Did you listen to the audio or no?
No, I wasn't brave enough.
Yeah, can you imagine? I just imagine it being, like, super juvenile sounding.
Yeah.
Um, DNF, not surprised, not planning on picking it back up, so don't mind spoilers. Alright. The Jan effect. Yeah, that's so funny. Managed to finish it, but honestly, it just wasn't what I expected. 1 star for me, and I never give books that low of a rating. Yeah, why did I give this 2 stars?
I think it's so funny that everyone disliked it.
Yeah, I think yeah, I don't recall anyone even on Discord saying that they even remotely liked it.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning, they were like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot," but
Yeah.
yeah. There was one, Sash, she was reading it during something, and she was like, "Oh, it's gonna be my 100th book of the year." I was like, "DNF." You not associate this book with that. I only powered through the book for the paranormal fantasy stuff, but it meant nothing. Yeah, okay. This is
Yeah.
what I thought too. I was like, "Okay, we're getting somewhere. There's demons and stuff." Like, what the fuck's his name? Colton. I literally know a Colton, like, he's, like, my closest guy friend, and I keep forgetting his name.
Aw.
Um, yeah, I was like, "Okay, he's clearly not fully human, but is he just a ghost? Is he a demon?" Like, I'm confused.
And
So,
I don't did we ever get an explanation?
I don't know. I'm gonna look at my notes. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, was she also dead? I'm confused. Okay, so both of them went through I guess this is kind of spoiler territory, so warning to anyone. I wouldn't recommend it anyway, so who cares? Um, but, like, have you read The Depths?
No.
Nicole, Les Burns or whatever. It's super similar to that one too, because they both go through, like, near-death experiences, and that's what makes them see ghosts.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's what was happening here, kind of.
That's what I gathered too, and I think that's, like, a an interesting starting point. That was the only thing they had in common.
Yeah.
And it was weird, like, I didn't like how one, he was, like, in a power position over her. Oh, I don't know if you just saw my dog jump. Um, but he was in a power position over her, and he was mean to her the whole time, and somehow, like, she, like, never fully got the message and was still like, "He's so cute though, but he knows something." It's like,
Yeah, okay, so, like, it starts off and in the synopsis, I think, it says, like, they knew each other because he saw her before he died or whatever. Before he
yeah,
She was the little girl. First of all, why the fuck was she there? I don't remember. And then yeah, and then he was like a TA. She didn't know it at first, and then he was, like, mean, but then all of a sudden he's, like, offering this study room to help her.
yeah, and everyone's like, "Dude, you gotta stay away from her. You know what you're doing." And it's like, first of all, what is then it also kind of tried felt like a failed attempt at Ninth House where it was like secret societies on campus.
Yeah,
But they never really explained what this like organization was and what their purpose was and
yeah.
what like she was and why she was so important and like no one else had her magical abilities ever before.
Yes, yeah, someone was comparing it to Ninth House too. I'm gonna check if this is a series or a standalone.
Oh God.
'Cause oh, okay, wait. Oh, never mind. Review does not mean standalone, Jan. Um, I mean, it looks like it is a standalone. Yeah, it doesn't say book 1 or anything. So, I mean, okay, thank God. But I know this author is coming out with a second book soon, maybe next year. That that sounds pretty good. But I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy to pick that up after this. Um, but yeah, and like, okay, so wait, let me just keep going. The DNF to Lesson of Vengeance last year for this book club. Oh God, I forgot it was a book club pick too.
Bad luck.
Oh God, now it is making sense for their similarities. Yeah, I okay. So, what did you like about of Vengeance that wasn't in this? The Lesson in Vengeance.
I think I just like thought it like it told a story, like it was entertaining.
Okay.
Um I liked the writing and the characters and just like very surface level things like that. Whereas like this book, I thought the writing was fine, but it just went nowhere. And like the more you read it, it was like, oh, like this is nothing. This is like the bare bones of a story. This is the first draft.
That's true, yeah. My big thing about Lesson in Vengeance was I wanted more witchiness, and it didn't give me enough of that because it was pitched as, like, super witchy, super dark academia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and I think some of the writing wasn't I think I did like A Lesson in Vengeance more than this, though. At least I wasn't as confused.
That's kind of like the nice thing about being out of the know is that like I don't have any pre expectations.
Mm,
So I can't like if it's disappointing, it's like it must be offensively bad or something. Like the writing is trash, you know?
you're not, like, influenced if you don't wanna be
Yeah.
influenced. I wonder why this book was compared to the Raven Boys and Ninth House according I did see that, yeah, okay, so Kasey mentioned the Ninth House thing, but Raven Boys I haven't read yet, so I don't know, have you?
No.
I guess just the school setting probably, and the fact that it's YA and Ninth House is adult. That's probably why they said the Raven Boys.
Yeah, maybe with Raven Boys, like I feel like Colton is supposed to be like your misunderstood bad boy.
True.
And I feel like the Raven Boys, there's definitely gotta be one of them in there.
Yeah, it definitely, like, played into that trope for sure.
Yeah.
And also, like, this first of all, this author is super cute on Instagram, like, I was so ready, like and then the main quote that they kept posting and, like, the main quote associated with this was on page, like, super early, I don't even remember, let me I wrote it down. It was the Moth to Flame one.
Oh.
43. And I was waiting for it to be, like, at a climactic moment, like, impactful, and it was nothing. It was like hold on, where are we? He knew the risk, and yet the draw of Lane was a visceral beating thing beneath his bones. He was a paper moth in the dark, and she was a light. And that's it. Like, that's the iconic quote of this book, and it was on page 43. Like, what? I That was a big thing for me too. I was like, "Oh god."
Yeah, the writing was kind of ridiculous at points. I started tabbing every point that like I only have like 4 tabs, but I tabbed parts that like were just atrocious. The
Give an example. Give an example.
um,
Oh my god, I totally lied. I did listen to the audiobook for this, like, and I followed along because that's
oh,
the only
really?
way I got through it. Yeah, I got through it in, like, 2 days because of the audiobook. And it wasn't too bad actually. But
Okay.
I did have to speed it up. I sped it up to, like, 3.4 because I was following along, but yeah.
One of the worst lines was on page 225,
Let's see if
and
I tabbed it too.
what?
I'm gonna see if I tabbed it too.
Um, it was a door, and on the other side was a storage unit, quite a lot like the first. And on a mirror side street in a mirror borough in a mirror Boston, under a mirror night sky with thousands of mirror stars.
Oh god, why did I not even notice that?
And I was like, I know there's a, like intentional repetition, but that just felt like bad.
Yeah, okay, what I tabbed, so I do have a tab on that page, and it's also my, like, negative tab, is the first line. "In a storage unit at a storage yard on a side street in a sleeping neighborhood of Boston, there was a door." And then I wrote, "What the fuck are all these consecutive prepositional phrases? Crime."
Yeah. No, yeah, because it's like you think you're doing something,
Yeah.
and it's just showing us, like, how unnatural this is for you.
That's such a good way to put it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think she was, like I wanna check their pronouns before I keep talking. Um, I think they were trying to be really poetic. Like, you could definitely tell it's a debut.
Yeah.
That was my main takeaway, I think. Let's see.
Um,
Okay, she, her. Confirmed.
oh, the author's pronouns?
Yes. Uh,
Yeah.
hello, Mal. Did audio and it sounded very juvenile for taking place in college. One of the reasons I DNF. Yeah, I needed it. And I don't know if sped up made it better, but yeah.
That's actually a good point, though, because, like, around the 200 page mark, I did go back to the first chapter, and I was like, "They're in university, right?" Like, because it just she acted so young, and, um, also, I thought it was so funny how they explained, like, his family as not being existent, but he still lives in his family house, but his family just chooses not to pay for any of the bills, so that's why he doesn't have lights on.
Oh,
So, like, just say
yeah,
you don't wanna write more side characters and, like, come up with a legitimate reason for them not being there, like, it just was so, so dramatic,
I
but I
missed
just
that part. I missed that Sorry, continue.
yeah, but I thought the same thing, so I was like, "None of this like, this is all so stupid." Like
Totally forgot they were in college too. That makes because of the TA and stuff, I should have just it didn't register. Holy shit.
yeah. Also, because I thought it was, like, it's fantasy romance, but, like, the romance part was, like, bare bones.
It wasn't even like was it even insta love? No, like, she was just like, it was just the trope of bad boy, brooding bad
Yeah,
in
and,
the
like, having a crush.
and then they kiss. Like, the kiss came out of nowhere. I don't even remember what page it was, but I literally wrote I remember writing, I was like, "Why are they kissing right
Yeah,
now?"
yeah.
And then, like, yeah, it was trying to do too much for sure, 'cause, then they were adding all these, like, random murders, and I was like, "Okay, maybe there's, like, some sort of serial killer, like, what's going on? Like, a demonic serial killer?
Yeah.
Cool." But then, like, nothing. Nothing.
It and, like, the actual summary of the book says that, like, Colton and whatever her name is, or Elaine, they're, like, tasked to find the the murderer behind all these killings, and that's, like, where I thought this was gonna go, and that's, like, actually a thrilling mystery part, right? And it went nowhere. Like, it went to the like, again, it was never, like, fully seen or thought out, and it was just, like, missed like, you don't even know how to market this book because it's nothing.
Do I even know who the killer is? I don't even remember.
I think it was the demon, and, like, he was trying to go into different bodies, and
Oh,
then that's how I kind of understood it, but I really did skim, like, the last 100 pages because it
too.
it was taking too long to read it, and
Yeah.
because, like, the writing wasn't terrible, it was just so long. I mean, the writing in some parts was pretty terrible, but I feel like it for the most part, it kinda had, like, all the parts of, like, a comprehensible story,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. It was just not fleshed out. It needed way more editing, way more development. Yeah. I mean, I also zoned out a lot in the last 100 pages. I was not even, like, looking at the book at that point, like
Yeah.
and I wrote page 295, "The fact that the voices are ghosts is the twist?" Question mark, exclamation point. Wait, no, sorry, that's not 295. Wait, page 295, "They cross through hell." I guess I was entertained by that part because I was like, "Okay, now it's trying to be hellbent."
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess we should mention the deaf rep at some point.
Yeah, that's why I was really rooting for this book to turn around.
Yeah, because it is own voices, like, the author is deaf, and, she was saying like, she has all these posts about, like, "I really wish I had this book when I was, younger and getting bullied and blah, 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 blah," and, like, who are we to say it's not good representation? So, sure, it had that. Maybe that's why I gave it 2 stars.
Yeah.
I don't know. But even that, though, like, I feel like her talk the main character talking about her deafness, like, died down. Not that it had to be, like, her only trait or anything, but, like, I thought it was gonna play into, like I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be something.
Yeah,
Oh,
I appreciated, like, um, the the representation in the sense of, like, her not wanting to, like I guess she can see them as, like, handouts, but, like, they're what you deserve and, like,
mhm,
what you need or really like, accommodations,
yeah,
and she, like, didn't wanna go the extra mile or, like, make her professors legally, like, give her those accommodations, which, like, she's entitled to, so I appreciate that, like, um, she was like, "No, I can handle this, like, I don't need those accommodations. I wanna, like I want things to just go smoothly and be easy for once." Um, and, like, I appreciate, like, that effort in the sense that it's, like, it's nice to see a character go through that, um, because like, sometimes it feels like that all the time in life, um, but and it's not I also wanna clarify that, like, I don't think it's nice in the sense that, like, it's good that it's nice to see her going through struggles. It's
no, yeah, it's good that it's acknowledged, that it's discussed, and
yeah, like, this is what people really go through or what they experience or that professors are, like, burdened by having to accommodate certain students, whatever. Um, so I liked that, but it like, that never got resolved. You never actually saw her become a good student or adapt to it or any you never saw, like,
exactly.
the end of the school year.
Yeah, yeah, and, like, I feel like part of it was also, like, kind of a plot device to make Colton help her, want to help her, be nice to her for once
Yeah,
thing, and then that was it. Like, I feel like they were in the study room for 1 second, and then all of a sudden, they're, like, fighting demons. I'm like, "How did we get here?"
yeah, and
But
also the fact that, like, Colton could sign, like, I think he did it a couple times, like, when she got really overwhelmed, like, it's I don't think it's super practical that, like, every like, the you go to a university and the first person that you meet knows how to like, I don't know, maybe it's not that best representation, like, it's, like, very obviously, it's fantastical, but it's, like, again, not really thought out the best.
yeah, yeah, I mean, like, that one part where he was like, "Hey, I read your email. I know you emailed all the TAs, but I'm sure not everyone read it, but, like, I'm here for you." Like, okay, that was cool. But I guess, like, moments like that is what took me away from 1 star, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. Where are we? Wait, I gave the book 3 stars, the book was mid. There. I feel like it's a 3-star max type of book.
yeah,
I literally got 13% to the audio, and I was like, "I'm not feeling it." The writing seemed off, and I was confused. Very fair statement. I think we were all confused by the end. Another forget I'm so good at picking confusing books that make no sense. Like, I took that they were going into hell and the guys who died. taken over by an alien
Uh,
that they couldn't contain, so they were ripped apart.
that could make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. There were just like all these voices that she was hearing. That was another big part of it too. Like she was hearing all these voices, and then it's like the mystery of where were they coming from, on top of the mystery of who's killing these random people that were just name drops. They never even like they weren't friends with these people. Like they were just students. And I was
Yeah.
thought the murder was the dean and a demon because of the death of the dean's wife. Dean and a demon. Wait, why does this sound like vaguely something I also thought of? Didn't the dean have something to do with?
The dean, yeah, I like skimmed it. Like I didn't care enough to try and understand.
Oh, same. Um, Whitehall knocked. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Whitehall knocked Delaney out. Um, so yeah, he like saw her. I don't even know where they were at, but all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, you thought this,"
Yeah.
and he knocked her out. I love it. Wait, I just saw one of my notes that was like, "Lane is a wolf?" Question mark. Remember that one that they like briefly mentioned that she could have been a wolf, and I'm like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that if you understood that. I don't know if I was just being dumb, but
Also, was it this book where she like it was this book where she went into the forest and she saw something like and then she had to turn around running and it was just like
I think so.
so like 2012 paranormal Twilight E.
My mind was numb towards the end. Yeah, Twilighty, lol. But yes, same. The book could have been worse. You read it, Brie? Oh God, I could just see how hard your eyes rolled. Oh,
Yeah.
Tia Netford. I just felt like I was looking for a spooky and dark book and it missed the mark. Yeah, that's what the cover says. That tells me spooky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cassandra Clare says it's a haunting, dreamlike tale of sacrifice, love, and obsession.
Oh God, I didn't even notice that was Cassandra Clare.
She
Right,
lied.
right. How much did they pay you?
Yeah.
Um, and then there was that part about Priory being like a frat and then the hazing and all that, and then Colton being a part of it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like when Colton killed someone, I don't care to remember. He killed someone and it was just like, why was it, obviously it's a big deal, but like why was it such a big deal in this context? Like I feel like it's kind of obvious that he has like all these dark secrets, but like she made it sound like it was so far fetched. But like everyone was warning her that he was dangerous.
Yeah. And also, like I think he killed the person out of self-defense. So it's like it's not. I'm not justifying it, but I'm like, if I was this girl in this scenario, like this guy just killed someone to protect you. So like obviously, you don't want someone to die, but like better than you. Like not not be appreciative, but also like that guy was trying to kill you. So like this is where the cookie crumbled.
And like Colton's already dead, wasn't he? So like
Yeah,
that could happen. Um, and then Nate died, and like Nate was all like she trusted Nate like immediately, and then all of a sudden, okay, that did creep me out when he was like, "It isn't Nate Schiller," and I was like, "Oh, kind of creepy."
yeah.
That's like the only time I like felt something.
It was like Nate Schiller died 8 months ago.
Yeah, his mom put in a missing person report, and then so then I was intrigued, but then again, nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Um, Also, her two roommates slash like best friends. I appreciated like I feel like they had semblances of personalities, but it was just like their entire existence just served the purpose of like doing stuff for the main character and like providing information for her. So it was like I see what you're trying to do, but like you're not executing it well. But I wish they would have been in it more. If it was more about them, maybe.
And there was also like potential sapphic rep because what was it, Haley Mackenzie, whatever the fuck her name is. Haley is Mackenzie's roommate. Good job, Past Jan. Um, and then one of them had a thing for the other one, and then
Oh,
that
really?
yeah, she was like, "I think I'm into my roommate," and then, Delaney's roommate was like, "Who, Haley?" And then Mackenzie was like, "What other roommate do I have?" "Yeah, Haley," and then, like, that's it. Like, they never
Yeah.
fleshed the relationship out either. So, I guess it was just, like, a checkbox for sapphic rep.
Yeah. Question mark?
Question mark. I think I need to stay away from books compared to Ninth House. I end up struggling to give it more than 2 stars. I love Ninth House. I liked Hellbent more, but I don't know. I it is a buzzword for me when things are compared to Ninth House though. So, have you read Ninth House?
I did. Um, I liked it at the time, but it was so long ago that I would need to reread it to read Hellbent, and there's no way I'm slogging through the first, like, 200 pages of Ninth House again.
Um, I think they do a decent recap. I mean, I retain nothing in books, but I read Ninth House like was it last year, 2 years ago? I don't know. I read it pretty late in the game, and then I didn't reread it for Hellbent.
Oh, and you still remembered?
I don't remember really, but it was
Or
I don't
you
know.
understood Hellbent?
Yeah, I understood Hellbent. Um,
Oh,
it basically just goes off of the main, like what's in the synopsis, and then like the end of Ninth House, I think. But anyway,
yeah.
it's much better. But was this the book where I love how we're both like, was this the book uh, where like people had powers? Do you remember?
Yeah, like, kind of like one of them
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
could, like, read people's minds, the other, like, saw, like, energies or something. No, that
Yeah,
was never fully explained.
yeah. Her roommate can step outside her body. Mackenzie can tell the future, and then Colton could like open portals or doors with his bare hands or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought that was gonna do something too, but, like, what was the point of everyone having powers if you're not gonna like, were they even utilized? I don't
No, it was, like, this was a school for, like, people who, like, had those powers and I think, like, had gone through something traumatic, but, like, it actually showed it, like, all of their classes were, like, math and, like, history and, like, geography. It was, like, nothing like you're not
know.
going to a magic school at all.
No, that's true. I'm gonna put now that you said, like, the traumatic event thing, I'm putting Catherine House as a similar books because that's pretty much what that was too. Did you like Catherine House?
I haven't read it yet,
Oh, you should.
but I own it. At one point, I would like to.
Good. Ninth House was great. I agree, but Hellbent was better in my sorry, I'm like, I probably shouldn't be here. I DNF'd it. No, you're fine. And I don't blame you for DNFing it at all.
Yeah.
I wish I DNF'd it. Sometimes I hate when authors compare their works to others I've enjoyed because I get my hopes up just to be disappointed in the end. Yeah, I'm still not used to it. I should be by now, but
Yeah.
I just want to learn to stop anticipating. But I guess the only way to do that is to get off social media. But alas, here we are. It's my literal full time job. So Delian's power was to hear the whispers in the dark since she wears a cochlear implant. That was what made her special for the plan to find a demon. Ah, yes. Yeah. This
That's
sounds,
actually cool.
yeah. I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Oh, Stark. The word Stark was overused. Did you notice that?
I don't know. I don't think I did.
No, it was like every other page. And I guess part of me noticed it because that was my ex's cat's name that I lived with and was highly allergic to. But um, but it was like excessive,
Yeah.
like the only adjective used was stark. Um, and
Yeah.
it like described like how do you even say it? Godbole or whatever. It described those walls. It described like people's pale skin. Like it was describing everything under the sun. So I just wanted to mention that as well. I'm looking at my. I don't know. What else do you want to say? Do you have to say?
I don't really have much. It wasn't also, I guess maybe, like, my last tab is, Colton on page 379, and Colton says to her, "You look like a queen." And she says, "Maybe I am." And he goes, "Get up, Delaney. It's time to come back home." And I was just like, is she like they kind of talked about mythology too. So I was like, is this gonna be like a Persephone, like Hades type thing?
Mm,
Uh, and then I was like, is she like gonna be a queen of like the demon? Like, what is happening? Uh,
oh,
but that never happened. Also, wait, there was some. Oh my god, him calling her Wednesday.
that's why I wore this hoodie.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot why. I literally asked my Discord. I was like, "Wait, why is he calling her Wednesday again?" And it was, yeah, that was. I don't know. I think I.
Isn't it? Is there a reason? It's like she's just like gothic.
Yeah, it's because she walked in wearing like a lot of dark colors or like black, and yeah, I don't know. I wrote down this one line. Well, I guess exchange on page 188. There was something about like, let me just open it and look it up. It was like so, it made me laugh because it was so odd. It was, hold on, okay. Um, so she was like seriously asking Colton, "Are you in some sort of satanic cult?" And then he laughed, and she's like, "It's not funny." And then he goes, "Sorry." And then in his inner dialogue, he goes, "Christ, he wanted to kiss her." Like, I don't know. I was like, am I supposed to laugh at this? Because this is weird. Like,
Yeah,
why did that make you want to kiss her?
yeah, and it's like you're so her like it's weird that your attraction to her is like more powerful than the way you see her as a human being who's like asking you a really serious question right now and you're just like, God, she's so hot. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
actually the page before I on 186 I highlight or I tabbed his hand shook, his fingers stiff with an arthritic ache from all the truths he'd chiseled free.
Not the truth.
He
Oh,
chiseled the truths free.
oh Lord. What did I tab? I don't want to get. Oh, that kind of made me laugh when whoever was it him? He was like, "I don't want to get smallpox," and then she was like, "I'm pretty sure that was eradicated." That made me chuckle. That made me blow air out of my nose. But I don't know. I guess I liked that exchange. So there were some like cute moments, poorly written, but maybe that's why I didn't give it 1 star. That I'm just gonna keep trying to justify my second star.
Yeah, I can't hurt anyone.
Hi, thanks for coming. When he called her Wednesday, I cringed a little. I was like, "Was this needed?" Yeah, and it was consistent, like incessant.
Yeah. And to the point where it was like, I know you're deliberately not saying her name, but like, do you know her name?
Right. It felt more romance and horror at this point. Yeah. What is this? What is even? Was this
Yeah.
like marketed as a horror?
What is even? It was horrific for me.
Oh God, poor Kelly Andrew. I hope she
Honey,
this.
we want more for you, Kelly.
I will try to read her second book, possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, the good thing is that our expectations are gonna be really low.
True. It's called okay, so I'm on her page. It's called Your Blood, My Bones.
Okay, not a great start.
It says cults, mutual pining, cottagecore horror, charismatic, eldritch evil. Quotes. Only I can kill you. Quotes. The woods are not right. Forced proximity, reluctant witch, only one bed. Childhood friends to enemies to lovers. Sad immortal.
Okay, this sounds like she's trying to do a lot again.
Arrows are arrowing.
Yeah.
And it's like the cover is just holding hands and there are vines wrapped around the arms. That's it.
Oh, honey.
I don't know. I don't know. Cottagecore horror. Let's see.
I like the idea of it.
It's a concept.
Yeah.
It's concepts. There were too many instances where Colton wanted to kiss her and hold her so many times in serious moments. It was quite. My mind had to numb itself before it combust from irritation. Yeah, like I said earlier, random ass times that they should not be thinking about kissing each other. They're kissing each other.
Yeah.
This you're on the brink of death. Like,
Yeah,
put your
and
ring.
also, sorry. I was gonna say that for, what I thought this would I mean, it might be YA, but it could be older intended for, older adult, young adults, but, if what's normal for if Colton seems pretty horny. I was they never had that talk about, boinking, um, and I just felt like it for anyone else, it would've gone there, in any other story, and I don't necessarily need to see 2 18-year-olds boink, that's not what I need in my stories, but it just, would've felt natural for them or for her to, set boundaries or, for that to come up because it was, the whole time he's sexualizing her, but it's just in his mind,
Yeah.
but it's you're saying words and you're being a decent person, but, your thoughts are just, "God, she's so hot," you know?
Yeah, I mean, she was the same way though, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah,
Boinking, I can't.
yeah.
Yeah, with you.
Maturity, guys.
Kelly Andrews' next book is set in the same world. Oh, big yikes.
Yeah. Sounds like a library book for you, Jan.
Oh, definitely a library. I mean, this is definitely going in my Pango at the end
Yeah.
of the year. I have to take my stack of book club books picture, but that's the only reason why I'm keeping it. Otherwise.
It's gonna be going on my Pango. I bought it from Pango, and it's going back on my Pango.
Well, I'm glad you didn't buy a full price.
Yeah, recycle, baby.
I also bought it on Pango.
You did too?
I think so.
That's so funny.
I think I bought it, like, way before I thought of making it a book club pick.
Yeah, and what sucks too is that I picked this. You gave me an option of 4 books.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? It was I should have looked at whatever had the highest rating because I looked at, what had the best or the most interesting sounding plot to me. And I don't know why I picked this.
I forgot I made you pick. I mean, yeah, I mean, I was kinda hoping you would, cause like, even people were DMing me and were like, "This sounds like a full moon book club pick," and I'm like, "What does that
Yeah.
even mean?" But I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, it tried. It had the aesthetic, it definitely did.
I like a good YA book, but this felt like it was written back during the time of Hunger Games and Divergent. I might pick up more by the author, but from the library. Yeah, for sure, a library book. Um,
Yeah.
but yes, and for sure that era, for sure. I don't even know how to explain it, but it just felt unfinished in so many ways, and I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest.
A very, very early draft.
Yeah, I agree. Um, let's see. I think that's pretty much all we got, right? I don't know. That's all I got.
What's your pick for next month?
I was just about to go into that if you were not going to say anything else.
Oh, look at our minds.
I know, we're just in sync. Um, wait, I will catch this on the replay and avoid the spoilers. Or you don't have to read this. Don't waste it. But okay, next pick is I guess I could grab it, kill some time. If I can find it.
Oh, she's on the run.
Oh,
What are the chances I own this too?
I don't know.
Not good.
Court of the Undying Seasons? Question
Don't
mark?
own that. Is that vampire? That looks
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes,
nice.
exactly. I don't think have I ever done a vampire book?
I
That's
don't know, but that's obviously your brand.
that's ironic. But yes, A.M. Strickland.
I actually have you read the Gilda stories?
The Guild. No.
I Here, I have a copy.
Ooh, there's some like art in here. Yeah, this just came out, I think, last year. It is a vampire book. I'm not announcing it or picks in like 3 chunks of 3 anymore. I'm not making those videos, so like it's just kind of word of mouth slash my
Okay.
Instagram right now. So yes, everybody, PSA. This is next month. Well, it's this month.
It's August is
Yes, it's August, and then there's a second full moon in August, so August 30th will be the live show. So,
Yowza.
time. What were you saying? The Gilda Stories?
This is the Gilda Stories, and it's a black female lesbian vampire,
Ooh.
and it's written in the 90s, and it's like a classic, I think.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of that. I've never seen that cover. I'm sure there are multiple covers, right?
Yeah.
I love the blood splattered on that. Oh,
Right? And so I just got it. I want to read it for this month, hopefully. But I just think of vampires and you. And I'm like, she's probably read it.
no, I have not. What cover did I see of this? I don't even know. I'm looking it up right now. Okay, I will put it on my radar.
Yeah, it's in like I think like the classics of like the literary canon. So
I love that.
oh,
That sounds so good.
Slay.
Hopefully the writing's not too classic-y.
Yeah, but it's from the 90s, so it doesn't I
Okay.
yeah, like it's definitely not like ancient English. Ancient English.
Yeah, okay, so it should be digestible enough.
Yeah.
Except for I love vampires. Yeah, I actually haven't read as many vampire books as I thought I have, so that's insulting to my brand.
They're hard to come by. Do you find good ones?
I feel like I own a lot, and I'm just like, "I'll save it for spooky season," and then I never read them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just gotta read them not in spooky season. I'm really looking forward to August pick. I wanna get it from the library, but I cannot get it physically or via audio. Might buy a copy. Heard it's a demigirl protagonist? Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, this author is known for queer rep, so
what is it called? I don't even know where my phone is.
Court of the Undying Season. It just came out, so I'm sure there'll be an audiobook soon. Maybe not this month, though. Who knows? I think it came out last 2 months ago. No idea. Yeah, I'm excited, and the cover's stunning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. That's the end of this discussion.
Thanks for having me, friend.
Thanks for showing up, despite your lack of online presence nowadays.
I might not be talking about it on the internet, but I do still read books. And I will always be posting my review, not like in-depth reviews, but like I always post on Goodreads. So
Okay, I thought we were on Storygraph.
I use both
Oh, okay.
because I like both.
Yeah, I'm just sticking to Goodreads. I know I'm so bad, but it's what works. It's all there. Whatever.
Yeah. I like Storygraph because it gives you all the stats without you having to do the work yourself. So that's why I keep it up. But I do kind of prefer Goodreads, but they're not doing the math for me, so
I have heard that about the stats. Thanks for coming, everyone. Love y'all. I'll see you for full moon reading sprints soon.
oh, bye.
Bye.